coming up on the Wednesday edition of Carolina Week.
Gambling on education? North Carolina is only hours away from selling the state's first lottery ticket, and not everyone is happy.
And then, what if your school restricted where and when you could speak out about an issue?
In sports, the women's basketball team cried tears of joy after dismantling Tennessee. We'll have all the highlights.
Our spring temperature is here to stay. Weathercaster Rob Ellis has that answer.
Carolina Week starts right now.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, this is Carolina Week.
Good evening and welcome to the March 29th edition of Carolina Week. I'm Shelley Basinger.
And I'm Crystal Calloway. Carolina is bound for the Final Four. The Tar Heel women beat Tennessee Tuesday night to move on to the national semifinals. Sports anchor Michael Crow is here with more.
Michael, this is a really strong team to watch.
Yeah, they've been doing quite well, and this team was actually denied getting to the Final Four last year, and Carolina hasn't been back to the championships game since 1994. This time around, the Heels had their eyes on Boston. We pick up the action early in the second half. Camille Little dominated the boards here and puts up 2 for the Heels. She finished the game with 17 points. The Volunteers stayed close by draining shots from beyond the arc. Ivory Latta couldn't buy a bucket early in the second half, but made up for it with this steal with less than a minute left, and the Heels are on their way to the Final Four.
Thanks, Mike. We'll get more player comments and highlights later in sports. It's regarded as one of the most controversial debates in North Carolina history. Now, only hours away, supporters are finally getting what they want.
But some still think it's a bad idea. Reporter Tara Higgerson is live in the newsroom with more about the mixed reactions to the highly anticipated state lottery.
Thursday, North Carolina will be one of the last states on the East Coast to sell lottery tickets, and convenience stores are preparing for big sales. As North Carolina lottery advertisements march into living rooms this week, retailers are hoping customers will be marching into their stores to buy tickets. Tariq Bacher is a store clerk at Big John's Mini Mart in Chapel Hill. He says he's expecting a long line of ticket buyers.
I think I will get a lot of customers, yeah. Because all of them, they talking to me when they gonna start like that, yeah.
Scratch-off lottery tickets will go on sale at 6 a.m. Thursday morning, but some customers say they won't be in line.
That ain't for me. No, I can use my money for other things. I'm trying to live for the Lord, so I don't think that's right to spend my money on buying lottery tickets.
I feel like I can maybe win the big jackpot one of these days with my luck, because I've done this before. I've played scratch-offs.
More than 5,000 retailers will be selling 4 types of instant win scratch-off tickets. Buyers like Straussy could win up to $100,000. But economist James Smith says lotto sales won't increase overall sales at convenience stores, and that eventually sales will slow down.
There's no way to identify that, my sales didn't actually go up and I don't have any new customers. I just have the same old customers spending less money on what they have been buying and a little more money on lottery tickets.
What do you think? About 50% of net lottery revenues will support education in the state, and the chairman of the North Carolina Board of Education will purchase the first official ticket at 6 a.m. on Thursday morning. And Crystal, the Powerball game will start in May.
Tara Higgerson live in the newsroom. Thanks, Tara.
The Coalition for Alcohol and Drug-Free Teenagers is working to get the message out. First Lady Mary Easley kicked off a North Carolina initiative to increase community awareness and prevention of underage drinking. A recent survey conducted in Chapel Hill Carborough schools found almost 47% of high school students drank alcohol at least once in the past month, with 25% binge drinking. Mrs. Easley says community involvement is key.
In an effort to start forming coalitions among parents and among community organizations to really take it to heart and begin to take action to really work on this issue in our communities.
Some parents think it's never too early to start educating their children about this issue. Popular spots on campus have sparked debate about free speech. Reporter Sarah Wiles has more.
UNC is one of many colleges that have so-called free speech zones. These are designated areas on campuses where student groups can hold spontaneous events without permission. Executive Director of the John W. Pope Center for Higher Education Policy, George Leaf, says these areas on campus hinder free speech and are unconstitutional.
The First Amendment protects, at least on governmentally sponsored campuses, like the University of North Carolina, it protects freedom of speech throughout the entire campus. You can't just designate little zones and say you can speak freely here.
This is the pit. It is one of 4 spots on campus where student groups can gather without prior approval. The other 3 free speech areas include Polk Place, the area in front of the Campus Y, which is currently under construction, and McCorkle Place on Franklin Street. Assistant Director of Student Affairs and Student Organizations John Curtis says these free speech areas can help prevent the disruption of academic activity.
The university has the academic mission, and first and foremost, classes take priority over everything. So free speech can, I'm not saying it is always, but can be disruptive at times, and that's not a problem generally speaking, but if you're outside of a classroom, it could be disruptive.
Many agree some restrictions on free speech are okay. The question remains whether free speech zones are a reasonable restriction. In Chapel Hill, I'm Sarah Wiles, Carolina Week.
These free speech zones are causing legal battles at universities across the country about whether they promote or actually limit free speech.
Remembering 6 million Jews who died in the Holocaust is important to members of the North Carolina Hillel.
Abraham Friedman, Marcus Friedman.
Students began reading names Wednesday at noon and will continue reading for 24 hours. This year, the Hillel is working with Students United for Darfur Awareness Now to remind people that genocide is still happening around the world. The group chose to represent the 1.5 million children killed in the Holocaust through a display of pennies, so students could better understand just how large the number is. One of the event organizers, Lisa Estrin, says she finds it personally important to remember the Holocaust.
All of my grandparents are survivors of the Holocaust. So for me, and they were all pretty much children when it happened, and because they were so strong and they survived, I'm here today.
Holocaust Remembrance Week will continue through Friday. Members of the anti-abortion movement say the practice is the Holocaust of today. They hope roses might help save lives in the future. Students walking through Polk Place Tuesday saw the green lawn covered with 10,000 roses. The campus group Carolina Students for Life organized the project. The group's president says it was meant to be a beautiful and caring way to express its opinions about abortion.
It really is just meant to be a compassionate thing, like to show we do care about the women, we do want to help them, we are here for them, which is a message I think that gets lost a lot of times in the arguing.
Carolina Students for Life is donating any money it raised from selling the roses to 3 organizations that offer post-abortion counseling. Do you have a bike you're not using anymore? 1304 Bikes is a nonprofit group that takes donated and discarded bikes and fixes them up. The group works with Big Brothers Big Sisters. Together, the groups give these bikes away to children. 1304 Bikes also gives bikes away to adults who need transportation or just anyone who wants a bike. Group members believe biking is a healthy activity that everyone should do.
The slow decay of some of Chapel Hill's murals could lead to some revamping. Orange County artist Michael Brown painted his first of 18 murals in 1989. But after 17 years, the Blue Church steeple is in need of a touch-up to restore its brilliance. Brown has been discussing the possibility of doing touch-ups with the Downtown Partnership Director, Liz Parham. But they haven't settled on a contract yet. Parham says there might be a need to restore the murals in the future as a part of a beautification effort.
At the murals as just one small part of improving the cleanliness of downtown and the appeal for downtown, and the more appealing it is, the safer people perceive it to be.
According to Brown, the full restoration price will be about $50,000. It's not easy to find a school cafeteria worthy of receiving an award, but Rams Head Dining Hall is an exception. Food Management Magazine honored the complex with the Best Concept Award, titled Literally Bridging a Campus Divide. The magazine's management was impressed with how the facility unifies the UNC campus with its dining venues, full-service grocery store, and parking deck. Although food quality wasn't a ranking, I'd have to honor its fruit-filled parfaits. The Rams Head Center lost the Best of Show award to Purdue University Dining Services.
The Moorhead Scholarship is worth about $80,000 during 4 years of college. Paula Cerruti shows us how that investment pays off.
The Moorhead is a lot more than just a scholarship. It's all about a challenge.
Megan Masioki says the Moorhead is about leadership and passion. Brandon and Emily are two Moorhead scholars graduating this spring.
The second year was actually a service summer where I went to Brazil and taught English classes and environmental awareness to local school children.
I don't just step in, I guess I kind of jump in. So the second summer was Asia. The point was to study cooking, and so I cooked with a chef. But I also worked with a university contact in Thailand. So I was looking at the different food habits between people that have moved from a really rural space to a very urban space.
Emily also studied abroad in Argentina and was a writer for the Daily Tar Heel. Brandon traveled to Europe to study art and is the president of the Black Student Movement at UNC. Now they're graduating and looking forward to putting in practice all the experience.
The Moorhead's all about learning and experience, and I think that they provide you with the resources and the knowledge and the expertise to help you, step out of that comfort zone and experience a world that you never could imagine.
It's a ton of experiences that are really rich, and you're going to come out a better person with a broader outlook than you went in, no matter what.
That's the true benefit. In Chapel Hill, I'm Paula Cerruti, Carolina Week.
Other Moorhead scholars have traveled to Ghana to organize soccer tournaments, to New York City to lead recreational therapy classes for people living with HIV, and to Peru to work on environmental protection. It's an exciting medical development using heat.
Coming up, we'll show you how researchers are combining an age-old technique with modern medicine.
If you're not recycling, you're throwing it all away.
I love this place. You give blood and they take the platelets out and give the blood back to you. It gives me goosebumps just to think about it. The hours are a bit strange, but I'm getting used to that. I come whenever I can. After all, isn't it better to give blood to them than to you know who? Just kidding.
Count.
1, 2, 3. Old habits die hard.
For more information on how you can donate, contact the UNC Blood Center.
I think I'll give O negative today.
Boy, that guy is weird.
An ancient Greek physician once said, "Give me the power to create fever, and I will cure all illnesses." 2,000 years later, medical researchers are using this approach to treat certain types of cancer. Medical reporter Yasmin Khan has more.
Shelley, researchers at Duke Medical Center are trying to fight localized cancers by raising the temperature of a tumor, like giving it a fever.
Sit. 4 years ago, Cary resident Barbara Link found out she had an aggressive form of breast cancer. She enrolled in a Duke medical study that combined chemotherapy with hyperthermia, a treatment that sends heat to a cancerous tumor. 3 months later, she was well enough to celebrate at her son's wedding.
And for me, it was so totally successful that I would like to see it continue and help as many people as can be helped by it.
Link came to the Morris Cancer Clinic at Duke, where researchers like Željko Vojašković are studying how hyperthermia can help shrink tumors. He says hyperthermia makes traditional cancer treatments more potent by increasing blood flow and oxygen in the tumor.
And that will make those tumors more sensitive to killing by radiation or chemotherapy.
This image shows the tumor heating up to more than 104 degrees, while healthy tissue stays cool. That means heat is pinpointed directly at the cancer. Researchers use specially designed applicators to transmit microwave heat through water, like this one for breast cancer, which patients dubbed the booby jacuzzi. Or this one for a tumor in the abdomen or cervix. Vojašković is encouraged by results in patients like Barbara Link.
And I'm really excited because there are a number of really important scientific breakthroughs that have happened here in the last couple of years in Duke, and I'm really proud to be part of this.
Hyperthermia research is continuing at Duke with a grant from the National Cancer Institute. Researchers are now conducting a clinical trial to test the effect of hyperthermia on advanced cervical cancer. Shelley?
Yasmin Khan reporting from the studio. Thanks, Yasmin. A recent study shows that the caffeine content of energy drinks is far above the FDA limit set for carbonated colas. That could pose serious risks for certain types of people. Researchers say those with hypertension, who are pregnant, or who suffer from anxiety attacks should limit the amount of caffeine they take in. The FDA doesn't currently regulate the amount of caffeine in energy drinks, and researchers say warning labels should accompany the beverages. For all colas tested, caffeine content ranged from 18 to 48 milligrams, within the FDA's 65 milligram per serving limit. Energy drinks range from 33 to 77 milligrams. So Be No Fear has 141 milligrams of caffeine per serving.
The Orange Water and Sewer Authority and UNC are working together to come up with a solution to the recent drought in the area. They plan to finish construction on a water reuse system by November 2008. OWASA plans to use highly treated wastewater for non-drinking purposes, such as cooling towers and street cleaning on campus. OWASA Administrator Patrick Davis says this system will save the university a lot in water bills.
We're anticipating that the cost of reclaimed water might be in the range, somewhere in the range of $1.50 to $2 per 1,000 gallons of reclaimed water used on the main campus.
That compares to the drinking water rate, which is almost $4 per 1,000 gallons. The university will pay $10 to $11 million for the system and expects to make that money back by 2014. Weathercaster Rob Ellis joins us now.
Yes, Rob, you know, at the beginning of this week I had on a heavy coat, and now I think it's about t-shirt weather outside.
Are you ready for the warm weather?
Never been more ready.
It's coming, I promise. People are actually getting out and celebrating the warmer temperatures. I'll show you if you can finally put away those winter jackets for good. Stay with us.
What do you get when you cross a soprano with a cardiologist? Someone who'll sing their heart out. Just what they're doing at a local community theater. See, the Sopranos Choir and the Cardiologist Hospital contacted their community coalition and started a children's theater. They knew busy kids are less likely to try drugs. And that's music to everyone's ears. What can your group do? Contact your community coalition at helpyourcommunity.org. Because you get more
when you get together. Properly inflating my tires burns less fuel and saves me money on gas. Yeah, I'm saving Mother Nature from pollution, but more importantly, she saved me $11. Ow!
Environmental defense. Get green.
By keeping my car regularly tuned, I save money on gas and repairs. That also means cleaner air. You know, feels good to help save the cash, planet.
Environmental defense. Get green. For more tips, go to getgreen.com.
Thank you for joining us for Carolina Week Weather. I'm weather forecaster Rob Ellis. Now, we've been talking about below normal temperatures for almost 2 weeks now, and finally, temperatures are warming up. We're going to be right near normal, and by the weekend, we should actually be above normal. Do have some bad news, though. We do have a few showers in the forecast for Saturday, and don't blame the messenger, but it's time to spring forward, so you need to set those clocks ahead Saturday night. You will lose 1 hour of sleep. All right, let's take a look at what's going on over North Carolina at the moment. We've seen clear skies. There are just a few clouds over the area. As we begin to warm up, we get a few of those clouds. But look at all this clear air that's to our west, and that's because high pressure is building in, and this high pressure will sag itself into North Carolina and park itself right overhead. We will see clearing skies for the next several days. If we zoom out to the national map, you'll see a few things that come our way. This area of cloudiness here, as it moves through Texas and Oklahoma, are going to make their way west, and that's going to give us a chance for showers as we approach Saturday. This should be in the area by Friday and begin to influence our weather then. We'll go ahead and take a look at what's going on the surface map. The high pressure, really a stronger high to the north, but this high pressure is building as we move through the week, and that's what's going to be clearing us out for several days. We had the front move through the past Tuesday, and that gave us a few clouds on Tuesday, but that is out of the way, and we're not going to be dealing with that system anymore. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 4-day forecast. We'll go through the days here. Friday, mostly cloudy. As that system approaches, we will see just a slight chance overnight Friday, We'll see a high of 72 though, so it's going to be quite nice. Overnight low 53. As we move to Saturday, we will see a chance for rainfall, and this will be a very good chance. We're hoping to get about a half an inch of rainfall out of this, and we really need that for our drought conditions. 73 for your high, overnight low 46. As we move to Sunday, partly cloudy skies. We'll get a slight break in the rainfall. We'll see a high temperature of 71 and overnight low of 47. Another very slight chance of rainfall on Monday with partly cloudy skies, and that rainfall chances between 20 and 30%. But temperatures really moving up to 75 degrees, and that is going to be above normal. Now, I know a few of our CW folks here have some plans for the weekend. They're going down to the beach. Let's take a look. Saturday, that chance of rainfall will be down there as well at the beach. But Sunday looks nice, partly cloudy skies, and temperatures all throughout the period in the 70s. Not a bad weekend at all. Temperatures overnight in the low 50s. If you're heading out to the mountains, we'll go to the other side of the state. Rainfall in the mountains as well. That same system that's going to approach will affect all areas of North Carolina. Temperatures a little bit cooler, but the warm weather is here. I'm enjoying it, and I can't wait for those 70s. I love the 70s.
Well, I'm looking forward to the warm temperatures, but I'm not exactly looking forward to losing that hour of sleep this weekend.
You have to catch up. You have to play catch up.
I know, I guess so. Thanks, Rob. Thanks. Sportscaster Michael Crow joins us now.
And Michael, I know we're sad that the men aren't still in the tournament, but the ladies are really getting a chance to shine.
Yeah, the Tar Heels are playing really well, and they're finally able to get all the attention that they really deserve with the men's basketball team out of the picture. And coming up in sports, although many Tar Heel fans are already booking their flights to Boston, we'll take a step back and give you an in-depth analysis of how the women's basketball team topped the Lady Vols.
Hey, kid, what's shaking? Besides me.
Dad, there's something wrong with the fridge.
What? Ooh, a snack.
Got energy hogs in your house? Now you have the power to do something about them. Log on to energyhog.org. Because nobody likes an energy hog.
Hey, they got Charlie! Who cares?
2 words for you. Pop quiz. Ready? Name any funny movie. A drama. Name a mystery. And one more thing. Name the movie your kids saw today in science class.
Know what really matters. Know about your kid's school. And know about your kid. Find out 100 ways to know more, do more.
Welcome to Carolina Week Sports. I'm Michael Crow. You may not know this, but underneath my suit, I'm wearing an Ivory Latta jersey. Okay, that's not true. Speaking of the hottest thing on the court, the women's team started Tuesday night's game on fire and didn't stop until the Tennessee Volunteers were burned out. The Tar Heel defense toppled the Lady Vols, forcing difficult shots and 12 Tennessee turnovers in the first half alone. The Heels executed on the offensive end at will, and they held a 12-point halftime lead. Tennessee started the second half with 1 goal: get guard Candace Parker the ball as much as possible. But the star of the game, Ivory Latta, would not allow it, making big plays like this three-pointer. In the end, it came down to Latta on the line, and with these clutch free throws, she put the nail in the coffin. The Tar Heels win by 12 and will head to the Boston for the Final Four.
Everybody's just so focused, and we know what it takes to win a championship. Like Coach say, great defense and then rebound and win championships, and we know that's what we're going to have in the Final Four.
With the victory, the Heels move into the Final Four for the first time in more than a decade. They'll face number 2 seed Maryland in Boston. The Heels beat the Terrapins on March 1st to win the ACC title, but the NCAA action is a different story altogether. For the Heels to advance onto the championship game, they'll need to fight off the Terrapins' strong post play. Elena Larkin should be able to dominate the boards and score second chance points. Look for Ivory Latta to keep Maryland defense guessing with lightning quick drives and creating easy layups. If the Heels can force turnovers, their transition game and speed will devastate the larger Terrapins. Strong offensive play has taken the Heels this far, but defense wins big games. Even though the men's tournament is missing the boys in blue, there's still a team worth following. The big question on the men's side is whether George Mason, this year's Cinderella team that knocked the Heels out of the tournament, can keep this storybook season going all the way to the national championship. Standing in the Patriots' way are the Florida Gators, and if they get past UF, they'll face the winner of LSU and UCLA. Coming off its first series loss of the season, the baseball team looked to bounce back against the Charlotte 49ers. The game proved to be a low-scoring affair, with both pitchers allowing only 7 hits in 8 combined innings. Charlotte put pressure on the Heels with aggressive base stealing early. Trailing 1-0, Carolina tied the game in the 5th inning on this passed ball. In the 8th inning, Carolina's bats finally went to work. Chad Flack singled to lead off the inning, and then with the bases loaded, Seth Williams singled to left field, bringing in 2 runs. Williams said the team was focused on getting over last weekend's loss to Georgia Tech.
It definitely ticked us off, especially the bus ride back. We're sitting there, it's just sitting on us, and we're ready to get back out there and get a good spark going, get us, fired up, ready to go back, get back in there.
3 Tar Heel pitchers combined to allow only 1 run in 9 innings. Jonathan Hovis earned the win, throwing 4 scoreless innings in relief. Carolina takes on top-ranked Florida State Seminoles this weekend in a 3-game series right here at home. Well, Carolina Week is going to the Final Four in Boston with the women's basketball team, and we'll have complete highlights of that on Monday. And another note, Tyler Hansbrough will return for his sophomore year. I know that sounds weird, but he's coming back. Don't worry.
That's good to hear. You know, we were a little disappointed when Marvin left, so.
Yeah, they all left last year, so it's good to find out that they'll
It's
stick around.
good to have someone to stick around.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Put on your dancing shoes and get ready to do a little jig.
When we come back, we'll show you how these kids are learning about Irish culture and some fancy footwork, too.
7, 8, 8, 2, 3, 8, 2, 3, 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, over 2, 3.
When you buy disposable and overpackaged products for your home, you're really saying, I'm fine with depleting natural resources. Pollute our air and water. Energy? Wasted. People tell you, hey, go for less packaging. Check out reusables. Buy stuff in bulk. Well, you tell them, no thanks. I'd rather throw it all away. Buy smart, waste less, save more.
If you have a story idea, contact Carolina Week at 843-8292. You can also visit us online at carolinaweek.org. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27599.
St. Patrick's Day is past, but some local kids celebrate the Irish spirit year-round. The Innish-Kyard School of Irish Dance in Raleigh offers classes at the Chapel Hill Bible Church on Irwin Road. I went to find out more.
Get ready. Hold on. Oh, and don't fall. Irish dancing is not for the faint of heart, but dance instructor Christina Naternicola says it is an art that everyone can enjoy.
We have some who have parents of Irish descent who are immigrants themselves, but we also have lots of children who are not Irish at all and completely different backgrounds.
I'm German, and they even let me brush up on my skipping skills. Nikki Donovan signed up her daughter Miriam when the Chapel Hill program began this past fall.
My husband's Irish, and his family, his whole family is very Irish, and I wanted to do something to introduce Miriam to his heritage.
Miriam says she likes it when they stretch and act like they're making a big imaginary pizza.
I really want to keep doing classes until I'm not old enough.
I asked Miriam if I was too old, and she said it was okay if I joined in too. These kids know how to have a good time.
It's almost like a lost art. You see ballet classes everywhere, but you don't see this.
5, 6, 7, 8.
If exercise, the Irish culture, and new friends aren't enough reason to take up this lost art, do a good job in class, and all that fancy footwork will pay off.
What's your most fun part about class?
Getting stickers at the end.
Guys, that was a really good time. It was hard, though. I tried to join in with some of the harder steps, and I couldn't really do it very well. These kids are better than me.
It looked like it's showing, I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, but it was fun.
Are you going to show us some moves? Are you going to show us
maybe
your
after the show, but you have to. Someone has to promise they're going to give me a sticker because.
I'll give you a sticker, no problem.
Mike, while we're at it, when's the next ladies' game again?
They'll play Sunday against Maryland, and that's in Boston for the first game in the Final Four.
Thank you. Awesome. Well, thanks for watching on Carolina Week for this edition.
All right. Have a good night.